Stimați domni, doamne și domnișoare, vă mulțumesc că ați ales să participați în această seară la sărbătoarea noastră. Just kidding. The rest of the speech will be in English. However, Mr. Taunton recently promised me $10 if I would only begin my presentation in Romanian, believing that I would not have the audacity to do just that. Evidently, the 4 years I endured in your classroom was not sufficient time for even this extraordinarily perceptive man to fully comprehend the extent of my determination to defy expectations and astonish my audience, whatever the occasion. Mr. Taunton, I would suggest that you meet me immediately after graduation ceremony to negotiate the terms of our agreement and also to determine the equitable compensation for the emotional distress suffered as a result of the situation. Also, in the event that this matter will not be resolved in the manner recommended, the balance will be charged off and collectors will begin calling you to advise you of your mini Miranda rights. Good evening, honored guests, administration, teachers, fellow students, and of course, the senior class of 2015. I deliberately chose to begin the speech in a way that would not only make up for the trauma incurred at the hands of said English and literature teacher, but would also convey the idea that I am unique. I am a Georgia peach with an American heart and Romanian blood. And just as I am singular, each member of the class of 2015 is extraordinary. Our class is comprised of different personalities, some thoughtful, others lovingly obnoxious, a few absolutely crazy, and with most we have no idea what's going on. And yet, in spite of our differences, God orchestrated it so that different people of different backgrounds would come together to create something incredible. We have aided each other to grow intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually, but more than that, we have grown as a family. A dysfunctional, blended, very strange, very frustrating family, but a family nonetheless. A family that you can depend on because they are always there for you. Each of us has a story that defines us as a person, a story that is, in part, responsible for who we are today. I began Killian Hill as a kindergartner, and I always expected that I would finish as a senior. But there came a moment where God tried my devotion and tested our faith as a family. When I was in the 8th grade, my father became unemployed as a result of economic pressures. Suddenly, the future was uncertain. Our priorities shifted, as did the priorities of many other families who were facing the same situation. However, while many parents found it a financial necessity to move their students to public school, my parents decided that before my education at KHCS would go, everything, even the house if necessary, could be lost. It was a very difficult time, but during this time my faith grew. I became closer to God, learned to approach and rely on Him for my needs, and learned to let Him heal the pain that I couldn't let anybody see. I learned to organize my priorities, how to spend, how to save, how many pairs of heels to buy. And this continued for almost 2 years. Thankfully, before any drastic decisions had to be taken, my father received a job offer, an offer even better than his previous position. God demonstrated during this time that He was in control, not us, not the economy. During the period that my father was laid off, the amount of encouragement and support that I felt from my classmates, even from the ones that I had not told about my situation, but who were just content to pray for an unspoken, was phenomenal. This is what God had created. A group of diverse students who were willing to put their differences aside when it mattered, to help someone who was hurting. A family. And just as my family and I experienced financial troubles, as I'm sure many of you did, I know that there were others struggling emotionally, struggling familially, struggling spiritually, and struggling with loss. But we made it. We survived. And now we're here graduating. So thank you to those who played such a vital role in the development of our education, our knowledge, our spirits, and our character. Thank you to the parents for believing in us every step of the way, for all of your sacrifices. Thank you to the teachers, because although we may gripe and complain and believe that you deserve most of it, you taught us to discover who we are and to develop dreams and to pursue them. To our sponsors, thank you for tolerating us. To the administration, to the coaches, to the lunch crew, Google, Yahoo Answers, y'all have always been there for us. And we honestly could not have done it without you. Now finally, to the class of 2015, to my fellow graduates. We all have different backgrounds, we all have different stories, and after today, we will all take a separate path of life. Yet what brings us together is that despite our differences, we chose Killian Hill Christian School to bring us one step closer to our ultimate goal and to gain the tools that we need for a better future. What we got in return was more than we ever expected. We got a home and a family. Seniors, we have obtained the necessary skills to succeed in life. We have paved a track for success. However, even if you are on the right track, you will get run over if you just sit there. Ecclesiastes 1, verses 2-3. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher, utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What do people gain from all their labors at which they toil under the sun? Seniors, I don't believe that we must question all of our work thus far, all of our efforts, all of the pressure, our endurance, because unlike the author of Ecclesiastes, we were taught how to venerate our Creator in our youth and place Him first in our lives. Unlike Solomon, who arrived at this conclusion after a lifetime of living only for pleasure and worldly gratification, we have seen the results of living a chaste life in our youth. At the end of his life, Solomon did not have the opportunity to right all of his wrongs. However, let us decide every day to live for God. Let us take advantage of the skills that we have acquired and use them solely for the glory of our Creator, because this is all that matters. The road that lies ahead won't be easy. There will be obstacles and missed exit, potholes and rock roadblocks. There will be times when each of us will feel like we cannot possibly go on. Take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. Believe in yourself and your dreams. Don't become easily discouraged. Stay determined in the face of adversity, and never let your fears hold you back. Keep your hopes high, your eyes on the cross, and the belief that you can do everything through Christ who strengthens you.